How you doing? Had to actually do a re-upload because some of you guys had let me know that the music was actually quite loud, overpowering when it came to my voice. So thank you guys for that. Sorry I couldn't actually keep all of the comments. It was about 19 of you guys that actually commented. So again, thank you guys. And here is the re-upload without the music. All right, so this is just for YouTube. We're just doing some critical thinking. Got some videos, some clips together just to go over, just to question and see what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, and to see how everything fits at this moment in time. Not sure if YouTube cares or if this is even going to help, but I just wanted to put that out there. So I'm just going to be honest. I held off from doing this for a few reasons. One of which I really didn't want to do it. I really didn't. Number two, I knew that there was going to be a lot of parts that were going to be moving that realistically didn't fit. And I knew that a lot of things just weren't going to make sense, but also make sense at the same time, given the climate and given how it is that people want to pit one versus the other, the good guy versus the bad guy, and all these other types of things. But we have this here. BlackRock Inc., the world's largest money manager, has pulled an ad that briefly featured Thomas Crooks, the 20-year-old who injured former President Donald J. Trump at a campaign rally in Pennsylvania. The company stated that Crooks was a student at Bethel Park High School and appeared in a 2022 ad with other unpaid teens. Quote, in 2022, we ran an ad featuring a teacher from Bethel Park High, in which several unpaid students briefly appeared in the background, including Thomas Matthew Crooks. Some people will say, well, why is that important, Seji? Okay, so he was in an ad. The company decided to pull it. I don't see the big deal. They were, just trying to make sure to cover themselves and yada, yada, yada. Well, let's watch these videos, these clips here, and we will talk about that.
No, watch this shit, dude. Watch. Watch. She sits down. Yep. Watch this. Puts the sign up.
Take a look at what happened.
Shots go off.
She's completely normal. And then watch.
And then she's got her.
What the fuck? What the fuck? People are freaking out.
And she's filming.
And she's just like right there. She's not even freaking the fuck out. What the fuck?
To our country, probably 20 million people. And that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Watch and listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, But we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, and, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police are like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes?
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes?
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
Binoculars.
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? This is not a big place.
Did you see, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh, yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
That's exactly where I heard him come from.
What did you see, sir?
I heard the shots. I thought it was firecrackers to begin with. Somebody over there was screaming, he's been shot, he's been shot. So I made my way over. I said, I'm an emergency department physician. Let me help you. The guy had spun around, was jammed between the benches. He had a headshot here. There was lots of blood, and he had brain matter there. And so I got him. There's a helicopter coming in to get him. So I got people there really helpful. I got
Was
him
there only
up
one
on a
person
bench.
shot that you saw?
Then I did CPR, did chest compressions as well as I breathed for him.
One person?
I was the only one who did it.
We need to evacuate everyone.
I mean, he would sit alone at lunch. I mean, he was just an outcast, and you know how kids are nowadays, so they're going to see someone like that, and they're going to target him because they think it's funny or whatever. So it's the best way I can describe it. And it's honestly kind of sad. Like, I don't want to say this is what provoked it, but you never know.
Yeah. You said he was a loner?
Yeah. I want to say he was a loner more because he was quiet, but like he was just bullied. Like he was bullied so much.
This was high school.
Yeah.
What did they, do you remember at all what they said to him or called him?
No. He was just made fun of, I guess, for the way he dressed or his appearance.
So the first video didn't look strange to anybody. You got Trump talking, right? Because he's trying to rev up the crowd and, get those votes really in before November strikes, right? And then you see this woman directly in the background. You, in the upper left hand and picture number 1, you see her clearly doing a salute. She's doing a hand gesture. Nobody else in the crowd is doing that. For whatever reason, why she would be doing that is completely odd, completely out of place. But, maybe it's just for the camera, right? So then you see her and she looks oddly enough in the same direction of where the shooter is located, right? Looking in the same direction, staring directly in that one direction, fixated as if she knows that something is there, like something is about to happen. Then after that, once the shots ring out, you see her duck because you can see the hat in picture number 3, right? And then she pops back up while the shots are still ringing out to pull out her phone and to start filming. Nobody finds any of this strange. Some people will chalk this up to like, oh, well, you never know how you're going to act when when stuff is just going on around you. You're liable to do anything. You're not liable to do this. I've never seen anybody decide that a shootout is going out. Let me give a salute. Let me look in the direction before I know the shooting is about to happen. Shots ringing out. Let me just calmly duck down. And then while the shots are still ringing out, let me pop back up and start filming everything. Huh? Like I said, I'm just trying to figure out where is the critical thinking for a lot of people to question everything that they just so happen to see. I'm just, like I said, I'm not saying what happened or what took place. I'm just saying what she is doing right now is a bit out of place and it doesn't make sense.
Another one.
So mind you, I'm questioning that guy's hair because it just seems like that's a piece and the hat is just directly with it, but whatever it is, right? So he's talking directly to the Englishman, right? And he's stating that, hey, we tried to sit up there and tell them like, hey, there's somebody on the roof. They tried to tell the police, tried to tell the Secret Service, they pretty much didn't listen, yada, yada, yada. So you mean to tell me that the Secret Service, who normally shuts down everything miles and miles and miles yonder, as far as the eye can see, like Pride Rock, they shut that down to make sure everything is clear. They got all of their people pretty much set up in every known position that they think somebody might potentially do something. And supernaturally, they missed one area, long distance, that was close to where the rally was going to be held. Wow. This is insane. So what is the use of the police and the Secret Service? If the police and the Secret Service can't sit up there and quote unquote get this, under control, if they can't sit up there and protect the previous president of the United States, then who is it that they can actually protect? Because if they can get warnings that, hey, something is going on, something is happening. You need to be made very much aware of this situation. Like, you have people in the crowd telling them this, and they don't do anything with the information. You literally got snipers directly on the roof that had a clear shot, but yet they didn't sit up there and take it. This is a little bit odd, a little bit strange, a little bit weird. And again, everybody can hear everybody. Everybody is, tuned in to everybody. So I'm not exactly sure, how this was able to take place and how this was allowed to take place. Because again, you got two agencies there that are supposed to have one job, which is protect the previous president, on top of the guy who was trying to rerun to gain the seat of office again. So I'm a little bit confused. But like I said before, if they can't sit up there and quote unquote protect the president of the United States or the previous president of the United States, who is it that they can decide to protect? And the reason why I said the president of the United States is due to the fact that look at what's going on here. If anybody decides to run and they still think that they have a shot, if any Democrat decides to still run and thinks that they have a viable shot at winning against him at this moment in time, I don't know what type of drugs those are, but you are obviously smoking. You need to put it down, go to therapy, and you need to get some counseling, because that's not it. Nobody has a chance, not even other Republicans. Nobody has a chance of winning against him. The only person that can win against him and potentially win is himself. That's where you are at this moment in time. So if you got people literally online still sitting up there talking about, yeah, you need to get out there and vote, it's over. It is over. The moment in time that this, first of all, they got him off of all of those charges, or however you want to sit up there and put it. He's not facing no charges. Now, this took place. This is solidified. This is solidified him. If they had a possibility of even allowing somebody to run for a third term, he would win that too, just off of the strength of this. But like I said before, it is what it is. But let's continue with the video.
Another one.
You got a medical professional that was on the scene at the exact same moment, and that was there and try to do what it is that they could do for a individual that they stated is no longer here with us. Like I said, I find these things very, very interesting. How things tend to go, how pieces tend to, fall into place, or, how things in a sense might not make any exact sense, but make sense directly at the same time. Even going back to the whole fact of BlackRock sitting up there stating, and if you don't know who BlackRock is, you may want to do a little bit of investigative research and learn about BlackRock, learn about Vanguard. And once you learn about that, you'll find some other interesting thing. It'll lead you down a very, very deep rabbit hole. Very deep. Very. When I mean deep, I mean deep. Deep, 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 deep. Deep as if the journey to the center of the earth deep, right? But like I said before, it's very interesting, everything that's taking place.
Another one.
Somebody has to tell me why it is that this guy was doing an interview and it seems like he was both laughing and smiling while trying to hold it in and just talk. Some people may chalk this up to a whole thing of like, oh, well, maybe he was just nervous. Everybody, doesn't know how to act in front of the camera, nervous jitters. I remember when I was younger, my parents used to film. No, it's not an excuse, because if you're his age, you have social media. You've been on social media. You've been recorded by friends. Some people may say, well, it's different being recorded by people that you know versus the news. Like this is seen all over the world. Like it's different. No, it's not, because you can go on TikTok and get 1 billion views. The news is not going to give you that. Especially your local news. They're not going to give you that type of site, that type of views. You got a better chance being on social media and being seen by more people than, going and doing a news interview. Just being real. Like I said, the numbers are not adding up. A lot of the logic that people used to say, if this was 10 years ago, if this was 15 years ago, fine. There would be some validity directly in that. But that's not where we are at this moment in time. We're not looking at that. We're looking at somebody doing an interview about a serious topic, serious situation, or something that just transpired and happened that we were all able to see. And he's explaining about the guy, and he's talking about, oh, he was a loner, he was bullied, he was getting made fun of, because of his clothes and all this stuff. But the crazy part is, He knows all the details about him being bullied, which means he witnessed it, but yet sat back and did nothing. So think about that for a minute, right? Minus, just take away all the other stuff that I just mentioned to you guys. Just focus on this one thing here. He is stating from his own admission that, hey, I, in a sense, know of him. We went to the same school, and I know that, for a fact that he was getting bullied because, the stuff that, he wore and all this other type of stuff. So you knew that he was getting bullied. You stayed back and you did nothing. You could have literally been that one person that could have changed the trajectory, as most people would like to say, of how it is that a person is going to move in the future. And you decided to sit back there and do nothing. But you knew. Just as you stated. And this is my problem with a lot of people directly out here. A lot of people will see things like this and they will refuse to sit up there and step in. And this is coming from a guy. And again, I'm not sitting up there. This is just a whole different thing. Matter of fact, let me just do this. So I had to basically make this quick edit just so that people know that it's different. This is not trying to, do whatever people would normally try to say. But this is coming from a guy who was in high school. This is coming from a guy who was made fun of because of the clothes that he wore, who was, in a sense, bullied and had the threats of violence taking place, right? And a lot of people were there and opted not to say nothing or do nothing, right? You might have had one person, and I still remember that person still to this day. But other than that, the hundreds of other people, the other students that were there, said nothing, did nothing. They stayed there silent or they were laughing, right? So what I'm saying is you literally have this person on TV after the fact basically stating that, yeah, I saw what happened. I knew what happened. I stood there, did nothing. But yeah, he was getting made fun of because of his clothes. Huh? So you could have intervened. You and your friends, y'all could have intervened. Y'all could have said something. Y'all could have did something. And maybe potentially this whole scenario, this whole thing would have been very much different because he would have actually been around people that actually cared. But like I said, critical thinking, I guess. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me. So yeah, like I said before, I just wanted to do this video because a lot of stuff just wasn't make sense. I wanted to have enough information about this at least come out, so that we could have some things to go over and potentially talk about and see what makes sense and see what doesn't make sense. So if any of this stuff makes sense directly to you, let me know directly in the comment section. If it doesn't make sense, let me know in the comment section. If you're in the middle, let me know again in the comment section.